All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a human versus undead matchup taking place on Amazonia between 120 and DirtBag. 120 spawning as the green undead on the top right-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, on the bottom left, we have DirtBag spawning as the purple human. Human versus undead 1v1 matchup. And, well, how the meta has changed after so many years. Undead now opting to go for fast expansions oftentimes, as we're looking at an Archmage versus Death Knight matchup. This is going to be a classic play, perhaps. Amazonia actually refreshing in 2022. Yeah, a bit refreshing here as we are getting underway. We are looking at a Death Knight opening with ghouls going up against Archmage and Footman. And the question will be, are we going to see a high level of harass? A high level of harass, or are these players just going to try and do their own thing early on? There's a lightning shield straight up onto that Archmage there. That lightning shield racking up quite a bit of damage. Even the water elemental taking a little bit of damage. They're now going to try and back away, purposely backing away, allowing the remainder of the units to get finished off there. Archmage looks to, make sure no one's standing too close. Going to pick up Claws of Attack +5 and a Tome of Intelligence as that Archmage gets some earlier big damage now. Archmage already sitting at level 2. Meanwhile, Death Knight heading back off to the north here, going after this Kobold Taskmaster creep camp. He wants to get very close to level 2, get to level 2 as well with that Unholy Aura and that faster movement speed. However, Archmage already bringing over the damage here as a ghoul about to get taken down. A couple of low hit point units there. And, wow, beautifully done, allowing the Kobolds to get in a little bit of a stun there and picking off 120. So DirtBag catching his opponent off guard already, as the Death Knight doesn't have that much experience, but does have those Claws of Attack +5. All right, if the Archmage is able to finish off and get to level 3 quickly, that would be a big setback, as level 2 water elementals really just rack up the damage against these lower hit point ghouls early on. Deathcoil, however, able to get the final blow there, as the Archmage now getting into a bit of trouble, able to duck and dive and weave through all of this here. There's a little bit of a surround. Death Knight absorbing quite a bit of damage. Scroll of Town Portal there. Archmage, however, doesn't want to absorb too much damage on himself, as I don't believe an Arcane Vault is quite yet down. Meanwhile, Death Knight on the far side of the map, already down to 130 hit points himself. He could be in a little bit of trouble, as we're looking at, poor Footman getting caught out there. All right, DirtBag could be in a large amount of trouble, as things are getting caught out in the open field. He is trying to set up an expansion, and Acolyte is keeping track of that Archmage, though, as the Archmage does have decent amount of hit points. Death Knight now coming in straight in from behind. Are we going to see a little potential creep jack once more? Death Knight now trying to, dive on in here. Archmage picks up level 3, could drop level 2. Water Elemental uses the Potion of Mana immediately, and now dropping a second level 2 Water Elemental there to try and put in and defend at this expansion location. Otherwise, all of these porous peasants could easily be taken down. Ghoul actually getting into the front of the Death Knight, preventing the retreat there, as the Archmage now looking to perhaps pick up some items from the Arcane Vault and heal up as well. Death Knight looking to punish his opponent, once again taking down a peasant, as the Death Knight still chases after that Archmage here. Death Knight down to 130 hit points. Archmage trying to retreat away as well. What is going on here, as the Death Knight is going to run into a swarm of footmen and will absorb quite a bit of damage. Archmage at 184, going to drop another water elemental here. Is that going to be enough damage? Fireball after fireball, as the Death Knight, now down to 16 hit points, is able to escape. All right, some dangerous close calls by 120, as his tech to tier 2 is nearly done. All right. He's trying to figure out, I guess, who exactly Poison or DirtBag is, and figuring out how he should try and play him. China getting 4th. Okay, that actually surprised me quite a bit. Coming back around, Archmage. Archmage is sitting at level 3, still getting quite a bit.
Player's forces are under attack.
Off to the north here, Death Knight looking to get up to level 3, trying to make up for a little bit of lost time. 120 has fallen behind economically and in hero level. Tech to tier 2 is now done. The Lich is going to get trained up. There's that slaughterhouse, and a tech to tier 3 should be available relatively quickly. Death Knight already at level 3 now with dual claws of attack +5 and circlet of nobility. Those items may be given to the Lich as that Lich becomes a ranged auto attack damage dealer. All right, a bit more healing with that sacrificial dagger as the Death Knight looking to do more creeping again. Archmage, well, wandering around here, boots of speed, footmen are going to come online. Where exactly is that Lich trying to run off to? Going to go ahead and could end up getting surrounded if he is not careful. Death Coil, Frost Nova onto the Archmage. Archmage does have boots of speed, should be able to get out of there relatively quickly as a handful of ghouls are just trying to stay alive. Death Knight going after some of these footmen as well. Lich does get a Frost Nova as all of these units are getting slowed down with that AoE frost damage. All right. More damage coming back across here. Low hit point ghoul or low hit point footman could end up getting finished off. Yes, taken out by the creeps. No experience given. Death Knight at level 3. Lich sitting at level 1. Dual claws of attack and circlet of nobility on that Lich as predicted, as we should be getting into an orb of corruption soon. Arcane Tower currently protecting the base here, not hitting the heroes though, as the Archmage tries to shoo away the Death Knight and this Lich. Level 4 Archmage with level 2 Brilliance Aura should be able to drop down plenty of water elementals. Meanwhile, Footmen have Defend to try and reflect back a bit of damage here. Alright, there goes one ghoul. More ghouls could end up getting taken down. Lich continuing to fire away as well as the Death Knight. And perhaps trying to keep that Lich alive. And the Lich's damage actually looking fairly strong. Upwards of 40 damage per auto attack here as the water elemental is now getting taken down as well. Footman with the Fen doesn't protect against that Lich's heroic damage, even though it is ranged, as more ghouls are now making their way back over. Big Frost Nova right there, another bit of damage, but the Archmage able to deny that Footman once more. All right, Water Elemental and Footman looking to retreat back. Arcane Tower going to start feeding back against that Death Knight. Death Knight losing some of that precious mana now onto a ghoul instead, as we are looking at, more buildings being added here. A blacksmith to try and add a little bit to the Sim City of the expansion. Common practice now. Mountain King, no trailing Stormbolt to try and perhaps catch a couple of these ghouls who are fleeing away. There goes one ghoul there. Stormbolt onto the Crypt Fiend, however, getting healed back up rather nicely. Obsidian Statue is here as the Mountain King wants to try and focus down that one Crypt Fiend there. Crypt Fiend does finally get taken down. Death Knight, not enough mana to keep it alive and well. Death Knight now going after the Mountain King. Mountain King still trying to retreat back. A lot of heroic action going back and forth here as the Death Knight putting in a pressure and keeping things at bay. Army size of DirtBag, however, is rather small, 32 supply, as the Death Knight wants to stop the barracks before it is constructed, and then really cranking out that dual racks rifleman. Mountain King perhaps trying to put in a little bit of pressure here, perhaps take down a ghoul or two. Death Knight, however, is in position, able to Death Coil for that save. More guard towers are in position here, but they are not within range of trying to protect any of these buildings that we see currently on the outside, as another ghoul gets taken down. All right, Mountain King needs to try to hold on to these things here, and still no Arcane Sanctum on the inside to try and keep all of these units nicely healed. Perhaps we're going to see a Paladin as that third and final hero with Divine Shield to try and protect itself, as low-level heroes do end up getting bursted down rather quickly. New Arcane Vault being built inside the base, and this is still 120, all running off of one base right now. Dual workshops getting added in as well, so we could be looking at, it's going to be knights and flying machines instead of the riflemen, as I originally had estimated or guessed. We are looking now at Crypt Fiends massing up rather nicely. Mountain King now trying to make its way over. Are we going to get an Orb of Fire on that Archmage? That is the question, as the Destroyers are trying to splash down these towers. that those destroyers do have splash damage. Lich now getting up to level 2. Flying Machine now trying to take down here as we see Rain of Fire coming down, and this is going to really hurt a lot of that, hurt a lot of the repairs. Pit Lord currently low on mana. If he can get in one more Rain of Fire across all of these peasants, perhaps he can slow down the economic advantage, as we're still looking at the Crypt Fiends continuing to fight back here. Flying Machines not having to deal with the web coming in from those Crypt Fiends just quite yet, as the Knights are going to be joining in on the battle. Knights perhaps going to get in extra damage as well because of those Sundering Blades. Animal War Training getting added in. Lots of repairs on all of these flying machines now. Well, I guess this is a WarCraft 3 airfield to try and refuel and get these flying machines protection for those Knights from the destroyers. All right, flak cannons being researched. It doesn't look like it may finish. There's another Rain of Fire now coming back across, and now in comes Militia. Flak cannons not yet quite done, as the destroyer down to 219 hit points. Web is now completed though, as the destroyer are trying to keep its distance. More damage onto the Pit Lord. However, it escapes away at 35 hit points. Orb of Fire on that Archmage. A little bit of ranged damage there, also preventing a lot of the healing as well, as we should be getting into more repairs underway at this expansion. Pit Lord sitting at level 1 here, needs to level up. Lich sitting at level 2. Death Knight sitting at level 3, gonna perhaps want to get to level 4 as well, as we see the flying machines trying to take down the destroyers. Mountain King gets a Stormbolt off onto the Pit Lord. Pit Lord able to stay alive temporarily, but that Orb of Fire greatly reduced the amount of healing done there, as the Pit Lord about to fall. Holy Light continuing to save that Mountain King as it takes a potion of invulnerability and doesn't want to get too much focus fire either. Paladin could be in a bit of trouble. Are we going to see, yes, Staff of Sanctuary onto the Paladin. Mountain King now using a Scroll of Town Portal, as still the Pit Lord able to somehow survive and fight another day. Tome of Intelligence +2 picked up by the Lich as 120, able to defend himself there. Human base up and human expansion still up and operational. Army sizes are still about the same, and this is the opportunity for the undead to try and, well, exchanged comfortably, using AoE damage and hero nuking to get higher hero levels. Knights about to dive on in here. Paladin and Mountain King are not high level at all, so those effects should not really be that scary. Meanwhile, the Lich's focus fire is still rather deadly with the Crypt Fiends, and that, well, the Lich removing that armor and the Lich's and the Crypt Fiends ranged damage. All right, more Rain of Fire coming back down across multiple peasants, trying to disrupt any of that mining. Units are now trying to charge in. Knights perhaps coming in from the north to be able to get in on a decent flank. Web now bringing down all of those flying machines here, as the Crypt Fiends are starting to fall one at a time. 47 supply compared to 52. Holy Light there, as the Death Knight trying to finish I believe that was a save onto a Crypt Fiend, but the Crypt Fiend is still getting focused down rather quickly. Level 4 now on the Death Knight, little bit faster movement speed for those Obsidian statues, and these ghouls still trying to find their way, as the Knights are still diving on in. Knights, or will they be able to dive on in, finding the back of those Crypt Fiends, as we see another Staff of Sanctuary use right there. DirtBag playing absolutely beautifully against 120 here, as the Lich and the Death Knight continuing to fire back more and more. Water Elementals, they are not getting devoured, even though, well, no more Obsidian or no more Destroyers available, and still after all of that exchange, that Pit Lord is still sitting at level 1. 48 supply compared to 53. Rain of Fire now coming back across more peasants. Well, another peasant taking down here, as we see the guard tower absorbing a little bit of damage. All right, triple Obsidian statues, 50 over 60 supply by 120. DirtBag is playing very, very well right now, but the hero level advantage is starting to grow and grow for 120. If 120 gets up to level 3 on that Lich, that is going to be a big problem, as now Knights trying to dive on in across all of those Crypt Fiends. Damage coming back across here. Are we going to see the Knights actually be able to target the units that they need to target? The Pit Lord trying to stay alive. Death Coil for the save, but the fire, well, that Orb of Fire removing much right there. Now a level up, as the Mountain King Mountain King is at level 2. what is going on here as the Pit Lord falls at level 2. Abomination's now joining in on the battle. Lich could be in trouble, down to 60 some odd hit points. Does get a death coil, but could have waited a little bit longer to get more healing going, as the Orb of Fire debuff was still there. All right, Knights continuing to try to dive on in here. Perhaps could easily take down many of these Crypt Fiends. Not all of the Crypt Fiends have frost armor either, as we're still fighting its way through. Water Elemental still continuing to fire back here. And where is that Paladin? Paladin perhaps back at home. No, Paladin was back at home. Staff of Sanctuary getting healed back up, finally completed. All right. 120 looking to finish things off here, taking down a couple of these peasants. If it can get level 3, that is going to be a big deal indeed. Lich is trying to hold off and take down all of these peasants one at a time as the ghouls are trying to take down the town hall. Here we are going into an engagement. Death Coil, Frost Nova, Paladin sitting at level 1. Mountain King gets a Staff of Sanctuary and saved back once again. A DirtBag playing absolutely beautifully, as it is frustrating to see a unit getting teleported right at the last moment to get away again. All right, saving all of those knights. A Crypt Fiend could finally get taken down. It's going to get taken down. Holy Light saving that one knight there, as it's going to walk all the way back. All right, needing a little bit of time of retreat. So much damage done, only to see the Staff of Sanctuary bringing back not only a low hit point knight, but that Mountain King as well. Repairs nearly completed on the Town Hall before, well, it is getting attacked and trying to be taken down once more. More repairs are underway as the Lich finally gets to level 3. Pit Lord comes back across here, perhaps going to get a rain of fire down across all of these units. It does have cleave, frost armor as well, as the knights are now trying to retreat back. Another Staff of Sanctuary saves another knight as the Mountain King runs back into the fray, perhaps trying to take down some more of these units. Knights continuing to put in pressure here. Abomination, there's another Staff of Sanctuary again. Feels like it's a Staff of Preservation, as the cooldown just seems so short. Lich could be in some serious trouble. Orb of Fire, Paladin now trying to back away here. Ghouls are trying to catch up to it, as the Paladin is just simply running away as quickly as it can. All right, Abomination about to get taken down. Paladin is going to be in trouble. Paladin finally falls there, as well some other units were getting caught once more. 55 supply compared to 62. DirtBag playing well, but the tipping point might have been reached, as losing that Paladin, although it's only a level 1, is going to set things back just a bit. I don't know if that was denied there, as the Pit Lord, Rain of Fire, going to finish off more of these peons, or more of these peasants, as the expansion is about to go down. All right, main gold mine does not have much more gold. 2.5 minutes left here. DirtBag gonna lose his expansion here in just a second, down to 30 hit points. Finally gets taken down after all of this pressure, and now 120 gonna try and just focus straight up on DirtBag's army. Mountain King still wandering around here. There is a thunderclap, a decent thunderclap across all the entire center, as the Mountain King now looks to try and retreat back, slowing down much of the front line units. 59 supply compared to 52. Knights are going to get taken down. No, another Staff of Sanctuary constantly trying to deny experience across the board, as the Paladin does have Divine Shield, but doesn't have the mana to use it either if things do go sideways. Knights perhaps would like additional bit of protection, as the Knights are now trying to chase after the Lich. However, the Lich still moving pretty quickly there. All right, more damage adding on through. Are we going to see any units actually get taken down in this fight here? Mountain King wants to find a Stormbolt, finds the Stormbolt on the Death Knight, and the Death Knight is now in some serious trouble, as it is surrounded. And Mountain King could be in trouble, down to 200 hit points, down to 100 hit points. It's going to get Staff of Sanctuary out, and the Death Knight falls at level 4. All right, Lich able to escape away at 50 hit points here, as the units are still trying to find their way through. But the Death Knight falling at level 4 may be, well, too much to overcome. Beautiful Staff of Sanctuary use multiple times, saving Mountain King's Knights, and, well, making it difficult for the undead heroes to level up. Archmage could be picking up a scroll of regeneration, try to heal back up all of these units, including giving it to that Mountain King so that it's able to join back in onto the battlefield soon. All right. A new workshop being placed down here, not an expansion, as the undead now looks to set up, resurrecting the Death Knight at the tavern to get it back into play. 46 supply army compared to 51. very even overall. But remember, there are a lot of ghouls currently collecting lumber as the knights are now finding their targets. Fly Machine's going to find the destroyers off to the sides here. Fly Machines do have the flak cannons, but the destroyers do have a bit of splash damage as well. Are the Fly Machines going to be able to take down all of these destroyers? That is the question there. Staff of Sanctuary still trying to save up some targets as the Lich falls at level 3. Crypt Fiend going to fall as well, racking up more damage. One more shot should finish off another Crypt Fiend there, and that Creepjack, a very big deal indeed, but there are still 5 destroyers that still need to be accounted for. Mountain King now, grabbing the Orb of Fire in order to try and take down some of these destroyers. There are so many destroyers overhead that are trying to hunt down all of these knights. All right, perhaps the knights are going to try and, stay relatively close to those guard towers here as Fly Machines, trying to get trained back up to deal with these destroyers. 1-1 upgraded right there. Mountain King there, and finally, 120 throws in the towel, knowing that the Lich was gone. DirtBag taking a game off of 120 with some amazing, impressive play. Beautiful Staff of Sanctuary use throughout, and never allowing the undead heroes to really run away with the game. Let me know what you guys thought about this matchup here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.